Southern Pigskin Preview is brought to you by Crystal, nothing like it, and by the Boy Scouts of America, words to live by. There's nothing like it. The passion, the rivalries, the great players, and the championships. It's college football in the South, and we're getting things started in style with a preseason tailgate party. Join us for the next hour as we get you ready for football season. It's time for Southern Pigskin Preview, presented by Crystal.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Southern Pigskin Preview, presented by Crystal. I'm Sam Crenshaw, along with Georgia State head football coach Bill Curry. We're at the Georgia Dome, and we got a tailgate party going on behind us here. And right now, Coach, it's before the season starts. We got volunteers getting along with Crimson Tide. We got Seminoles and Gators actually talking to each other back there. We get set for college football season to start. Talk about how special it is to be in this building. The SEC plays its championship game each year, and the ACC versus the SEC, both to start the season and to end the season, and the new home for your football program.
That's right. Those things are all true, and we live in a part of the country where football is like a religion. It's like a religious experience, and people are so passionate that folks from other parts of the country can't understand. When they turn the television on to see the really big events in Southern football, a lot of them are right here. And that makes it wonderful for Georgia State that the Panthers will actually roll out our program here in 2010 and get to play in one of the really historic venues in the South. As you know, Sam, the South, when you combine the religious fervor and big dollars from the networks, that's a lethal combination for the opposition. 9 out of the top 25 teams in most of the surveys this year are from the SEC and the ACC. I don't even have to tell you who they are. Right. Starting with Florida right through Alabama, and then in the other league, Virginia Tech and the great teams in the ACC. This is football country.
Indeed it is, and we're going to get started with our program starting in the Atlantic Coast Conference with a look at the Coastal Division. There are no more questions about whether Georgia Tech's option offense can succeed in the ACC. 9 starters from last season's 9-4 squad are back, including Player of the Year Jonathan Dwyer, who believes this team has the confidence to repeat its success.
I wouldn't say we're not going to surprise anybody. I think we'll surprise some people, but I know that we're not going to really surprise ourselves. We have high expectations.
The concern in Atlanta is on the defensive side of the ball, where Paul Johnson must replace 3 All-ACC linemen.
And we've got some guys that I think are hungry to show people that they can step in and fill in for the departed guys. It's a big job and a big challenge, but hopefully they're willing to step up and see if they can handle it.
Duke won as many football games in 2008 as they did in the 4 previous seasons combined. It's that success that has second-year coach David Cutcliffe talking about what was once unthinkable in Durham, a bowl game.
We're a good enough football team to be a bowl team. I will be disappointed if we're not a bowl team. And again, we're fragile. You know, you have to understand fragile in a couple of ways. We're fragile in depth, but we're probably more fragile emotionally. After losing so many years at Duke. That's why we need a fast start.
For Duke to take the next step, quarterback Thaddeus Lewis must shine, and the defense will have to use its speed to make some big plays. This could be the year it all comes together for Randy Shannon and Miami if the Hurricanes could make it through the first month. Their road trips to Florida State and Virginia Tech, and home games against Georgia Tech and Oklahoma.
It's a tough start, but it's part of football. You got to play them sometime in weather, so you might as well just get them going and have a football mentality. But you got to do it more like the NFL. You got to treat that like an NFL season now, because of NFL is no easy game. So by me being in the NFL and Coach Whipple being in the NFL, we know how to organize it to where we're keeping our guys fresh.
Quarterback Ja'Cory Harris leads an offense with solid playmakers. The defense has another new coordinator, but there's plenty of young talent, including Defensive Rookie of the Year, Sean Spence, to get the job done.
Let's turn it on, play some football. Play some football, let's go.
The no-huddle spread offense has come to Charlottesville, along with the 3-way quarterback battle to run it. The leading candidate is senior Vic Hall, a 2-year starter at corner whose running style is well suited to this offense. He's up to the task, but knows his competition is too.
I feel like we each bring something different to the table and to the offense. So either way, I feel like all of us can contribute and help in a different way.
On defense, Virginia's 3-4 scheme means the linebackers run the show, but there will be some new faces on stage, and it's crucial for them to learn quickly.
Now we're making the transition there at a very important position. At least we have 3 fifth-year seniors. Even though they haven't been full-time players, at least they've been in the system, they understand how we think, what the position's all about, so hopefully that'll get them off to a head start.
Let's go, Brandon. Line it up, baby. Let's go.
After an 8-win season, North Carolina is facing a new challenge: expectations. The Tar Heels are a preseason top 25 pick and will be gunning for back-to-back bowl games for the first time in more than 10 years.
We embrace those expectations. Those are what we've been looking for since we got here. When you step on campus, you want to kind of be that team that does things that the other teams didn't do. And of course, we want to go to back-to-back bowl games, but we also want to win an ACC championship too.
A league-high 9 starters return to the defense, which should be a strength. On offense, there are big holes on the receiving core, which has some predicting more handoffs for quarterback T.J. Yates. But Coach Butch Davis says don't expect that to be the case.
We can't be one-dimensional. The common philosophy has been that, Carolina's going to run the ball every single play, and that's just not the way that we're going to play. But we expect to try to be as balanced as possible.
Virginia Tech is the odds-on favorite to win the Coastal Division and play for a 3rd straight ACC title. The offense has the weapons to make that happen. Tyrod Taylor finally has the quarterback job all to himself, while running back Darren Evans looks to improve on his freshman rushing record. The Hokies' defense is always stout, and this season is no exception. Coach Frank Beamer embraces the expectations.
I think we got some good talent. I think we got a lot of good players, so I think it's real. We got an opportunity. Now, how many injuries we get and how we come along as a football team and how we come together as a football team, those remain to be seen. But I think we've got a shot, and you don't. I think you're thankful for those shots and, go be the best football team you can be.
The test comes early with a season opener in the Georgia Dome against Alabama. When Virginia Tech entered the Atlantic Coast Conference, Coach Curry, people expected them to be one of the dominant teams, and they have been as advertised.
They have indeed. They've won the last 2 conference championships, and they're going to be formidable again this year. They base things on special teams, what they call beamer ball, blocking punts. They're just so exciting, and they even got punts blocked last year, cost them a game or 2, but they recover from those things. And the reason they recover is because they play great defense. Bud Foster, defensive coordinator. Virginia Tech has led the nation in yards allowed over the last decade, 263 yards a game. That's better than anybody in the country. Tyrod Taylor, the dominant quarterback now that Sean Glennon has graduated, will have the job to himself, and he's a great player, and that's the good news. The bad news is there's nobody behind him. They cannot afford to lose Tyrod Taylor if they are to do 3 in a row.
Okay, if that happens, Georgia Tech, of course, your alma mater, is probably waiting to jump right in there. Great season last year by Coach Paul Johnson. With that offense, now the other teams around the conference have had a chance to see it. Can they adjust and get better, or will Tech adjust and take off even more?
Well, they've seen it, but so has Josh Nesbitt. So has Jonathan Dwyer, and so has that offensive line. And Paul Johnson showed maybe 1/10 of the offense, and he said last year they led the league in rushing, 273 yards a game. He said, we weren't good on offense last year. That's Johnson's assessment. Tech's tough thing is they lost 3 NFL guys up front on defense, and I think that's going to be very hard to replace.
We're just getting started. Straight ahead, more on the Atlantic Coast Conference.
With 3 straight national championships, the SEC is the conference to watch. I'm Nikki Alexander. Coming up, we preview the Southeastern Conference.
I'm Roger Manus on Beale Street in Memphis, Tennessee, well known for its music scene. Memphis, also well known for the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. Coming up later in the show, we'll take a close look at Conference USA. Who's going to be rocking and rolling, and who's going to be singing the blues?
Southern Pigskin Preview, presented by Crystal, rolls on from the Georgia Dome in Atlanta.